Hey folks, how you doing today? My name is Rob, and I have been an insurance agent for the past 20 years, and I specialize in Medicare supplement plans, Medicare Advantage plans, and long-term care insurance here in Connecticut. And actually, that is me here in the corner. And I always think it's nice to put a face to a name. And anyway, today we want to talk a little bit about Medicare supplement plans that are available here in Connecticut for 2018 and beyond. And as you can see, if you're not familiar with Medicare supplement plans or what they call Medigap plans, there's really quite a few different choices. You have plans A through N. And as you can see by this chart here, each plan helps to plug different gaps in Medicare, hence the name Medigap plans. And again, these would be to help supplement what Medicare does not pay, because Medicare has deductibles. For example, Part A, the Part A deductible, Part A covers your hospital. And the first day that you step into a hospital, you pay roughly $1,300 and some change. And again, I'm just kind of rounding for the year 2018. The first day you're in there, you'd have to pay $1,300 and some odd dollars. Now, let's say you wanted to go, or you just had to go to the doctor because you weren't feeling well, or what have you. Every year, you also have what's called a Part B deductible, and Part B typically covers your doctors, your outpatient services, labs, x-rays, MRIs, blood work, all that fun stuff, all the typical stuff that usually at some point during the year you're probably going to have to do. So anyway, that deductible is $183. And then you've got a cost sharing. Medicare pays 80%, and then you have to pay the additional 20%. So again, a typical doctor's visit between your once a year, let's say you go to the doctor for the first time, you have $188 or 83, dollar deductible, and then you get 20% on top of that each and every time you go to the doctor. And again, once you've met your Part B deductible once, then you only have the 20% that you have to meet for the year. So again, these things can add up. You could end up paying a couple $100 to go see a doctor, or maybe an MRI or labs or any of that stuff. Or let's say you get hurt and you have to have physical therapy. Well, every time you go to the physical therapist, you're paying 20%. So as you can see, these costs can add up very, very quickly. That's why people opt to get a Medicare supplement plan. And anyway, let's just give kind of a brief overview. And again, this is going to be brief because I have a whole page dedicated to these plans. And up here, you should see my website where you can go and get more in-depth information. You can get complete sample rates. I'm going to throw out a few sample rates in a minute, but first I just want to talk about the plans in general. Typically plans A, B, and C. These plans you can get in Connecticut, and you can get them whether you're over 65 and on Medicare, or you can actually get them when you're under 65 and disabled and you have a qualifying condition. As long as you have Medicare, then you can typically qualify for one of these plans. And as you can see, you have A, B, and C. C is the most comprehensive of the plans, and it's also actually the most expensive out of them. But again, as you can see, it pays your Part A coinsurance, your Part B coinsurance, blood first 3 pints, Part A hospice coinsurance, your skilled nursing facility. In other words, if you went from the hospital to skilled nursing. One thing I didn't mention is typically with skilled nursing, you get the first 20 days on Medicare. After that, days 21 through 100, because you only get a combined 100 days. That typically is $160 some odd a day while you're in skilled nursing. And again, I'm just kind of rounding. It varies from year to year, but trust me when I say it's $160 and a little bit more per day. Then you've got your Part A deductible, which it picks up, your Part B deductible. Now, it doesn't pick up the Part B excess charges, and that's not something I mentioned. Part B excess is where your doctor, they reserve the right to charge up to 15% over what the Medicare allowable expenses or amounts are. So again, it's few and far between. But again, you might be on the hook if it's $100 over 15% of that. They charge you $15 if the doctor decided to. Most doctors don't, because they want to keep their patients. They don't want to overcharge them, but some doctors do. And then of course you have foreign travel, covers up to 80%. I've actually had a client use this. While he was traveling abroad, he got injured, and the Medicare Supplement plan came in handy. As you can see, B and A and B don't cover that, but some of these supplement plans do. So again, if you travel frequently, looking at one of these plans may be a good idea. Now, if we look at D, F, G, K, L, and M and N, these plans are reserved for people 65 and over. So in other words, somebody that's under 65 and disabled on Medicare cannot enroll as of this time into these plans. Typically, they're reserved for people 65 and over. And again, Plan F, G, and N are the most popular plans in Connecticut for good reason. F is sort of the Cadillac of plans. It tick marks everything that you could possibly need that Medicare doesn't cover, either deductible, not that Medicare doesn't cover them, but that you'd have either 20% or a deductible. F covers all of those. That's again why it's the Cadillac of plans. And again, this plan is reasonably priced. In Connecticut, for example, it runs $241 a month. That is the lowest priced Medicare Supplement Plan F in Connecticut. There's about 10 or 12 companies that offer Plan F. As a matter of fact, offer any of these plans in Connecticut. And again, the rate that I quoted you is the lowest in Connecticut. Some companies charge higher premiums, but again, by law, by CMS guidelines, every company has to cover the same thing, the same benefits, no matter what. So even though you're buying the cheapest plan, doesn't mean that you're getting you're not getting quality benefits or cheap benefits. The name of the game is to get the lowest plan premium. And also that particular company, which I can't mention them online, you'll have to go over to my website on this video. You have to go over to my website and check them out. But anyway, with that said, they actually have the lowest rate increases in Connecticut as well. They average about 3% a year. So they're a very solid company. And Plan G now is become very popular in Connecticut as well, because as you can see, Plan G and F are almost identical. Here's the difference. G does not cover the Part B deductible. However, the Part B deductible is only $183. So Plan G in Connecticut runs roughly $202 a month. So if you actually figure the difference between F and G, even with the deductible, G actually comes out a little bit less expensive per year. So some people say, hey, you know what? If I can save $200 a year, I will take G. Some just say, hey, I'm just going to stick with F. It's really up to you, but G may be the way to go if you're new to Medicare and you want to get a comprehensive plan and save yourself a few dollars. Now, N is also one of the new kids on the block, and again, N is very similar to G and F. Here's the difference, however. With Plan N, it does not cover the Part B deductible, just like G. However, the $183, not a big deal. Most people can cover that. It also does not cover the Part B excess charges. So again, some people look at that as a drawback, saying, hey, I might have to pay 15% over what Medicare approves and what my doctor may charge me. However, here's why N is attractive. N is almost $100 a month less than plan G or F. So N becomes very attractive because you now save almost $1,200 a year. Now, the one caveat to that plan is that with Plan N, doctors reserve the right to charge up to $20 copay per visit. So again, some doctors charge it, some don't. If you've ever heard of the copays before, maybe similar to a Medicare Advantage plan, which I don't want to confuse anybody, but I do have articles about those too. But with Medicare Advantage plans, you pay copays, and you may have to pay a copay to certain doctor services. Some charge them, some don't. But again, it's up to $20. So again, N may be very attractive if you're fairly healthy and you only go to see the doctors, once, twice, 3 times a year. Even if you got charged that $20 copay plus the Part B deductible, it's still, you'd most likely come out ahead of plans F or G and still have the peace of mind that you're being covered for your A, B, coinsurances, your skilled nursing, your A deductibles, all the biggies that you could possibly get charged on Medicare. So anyway, with that said, this video went on a little bit longer than it should have, but hopefully you got something out of it. Head over to my website and you can get more information on these plans and how to enroll. Thanks so much, folks, and I look forward to speaking with you. Have a great day. Talk to you.